Yo, what's going on YouTube? Kim is needed back with another one. Alright, so I think everybody know the John Morant situation and like how he did his thing. You know, brandished a gun in the club. Pretty much messed himself up, messed his image up. I had a little situation going on with my internet, so I couldn't post it at the time. But we back rolling with it. So this was like an interview, like first look of him, what he had to say, pretty much after the situation. So we're gonna look at it, we're gonna react to it, give our little take, you know what I'm saying? And just go from there. So drop a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content, man. Appreciate all the love and support. Let's get right into it.
Years old, you're a superstar. You're one of the faces of the NBA. What has the last 10 or 11 days been like for you, and how are you doing?
Me personally, I feel mentally good that I haven't, been in, many years. I'm in a space where I'm, very comfortable. I was constantly, talking to therapists. I've been doing, Reiki treatment. I've been doing anxiety breathing, different stuff to, help me manage that and, release, all that stuff from my body.
When did you say, I'm gonna do this and it's necessary?
Now that I made a, terrible mistake, being inside a club and, went live, I put myself in, a bad position. And also it's, my daughter. There's times where she even tell me if she's, had a bad day. And I feel like, if she can tell me that, then I can be able to go and talk to somebody as well.
You're at the spot, Shotgun Willie's. I've been there. You are holding a gun. And we both know how dangerous that can be. Whose gun were you holding?
The gun wasn't mine. It's not who I am. I don't condone it.
And that's what he had to say. Like, he had to say the gun wasn't his. That was a good job by him, to clarify that wasn't his weapon. And I want the best for Ja, you know what I'm saying? I want him to thrive. We all been there, you know what I'm saying? Like, young, don't know what's going on outside, you feel me? I'm in my 20s, I'm 29, he's 23, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get through it, man. So I wish him the best, man. You're a young superstar, hope you do well.
Any type of violence, but I take, full responsibility, for my actions. Made a, bad mistake, and I can see the image, that I painted, over myself, with my recent mistakes. But, in the future, I'm gonna show everybody who John really is, what I'm about, and, change this narrative.
Ja has missed the Grizzlies' last 5 games, all of which will count towards his suspension, meaning that he's eligible to return on Monday when Memphis hosts Dallas. For much more, we're going to send it to Mike Greenberg in the NBA Countdown crew.
All right, Al, thank you very much. Michael Wilbon will join us from Phoenix in a moment. That's, of course, Stephen A. Smith. Woj has the very latest from the league, and there, of course, is Jalen Rose, who did the interview just less than 2 hours ago. So you almost just got back to the studio. What more can you tell us that the audience has not heard that they would be interested in about your conversation with John?
So this has been a turbulent couple of years for him. There have been multiple incidents that have been negative for public consumption, and we talked about each of them. We talked about the speculation of what happened with the 17-year-old when they were playing basketball. We talked about the incident that happened with his mom at the mall. We talked about what happened with his sister in volleyball. We talked about what happened in Denver the night that he had the gun. I asked him about some of the hand signals that he does during the game, and I asked him, was he affiliated with the gang? And so I appreciated the fact that he showed humility. He was very open about how tough the last 10 or 14 days have been for him. He talked about the treatment that he's got to try to make him a better human being, and I applaud that.
Okay, so again, more from the...
It said NBA suspends John Morant for 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. Already served 5 games. Grizzlies is 3-2, won 3 straight, eligible to return Monday versus the Mavericks. So he pretty much got time served, it seems like. And I think he was out for like 6 games, if I'm not mistaken. I think they played a game like just recently. So he got 2 more games left. So I hope he get back on that court, man. I hope he, you know, goes through what he got to go through mentally. You know, saying get back on that court, man. I hope they don't drop the hammer on him too much.
The interview will be playing. That was the first airing of it that we've had. As I mentioned, the interview just took place less than 2 hours ago, and we'll play more of it for you on Countdown and the rest of the night. In the meantime, Woj, going back, and Al mentioned you had the story earlier today that he's been suspended now 8 games. We heard the commissioner's statement. What more can you tell us about the league's reaction?
Well, the final step for Ja Morant in this league investigation was coming to New York today, sitting down with Adam Silver, who needed to hear what he did here today, which was that Ja Morant was contrite, that he understood essentially the magnitude of the position he had put himself in, the Grizzlies, the league, and he had started to take steps toward addressing it. But in terms of the suspension, which really is just time served, right? He's missed, tonight will be a 6-game out. He's suspended for 2 more games. Ja Morant has not been playing basketball. He's not in condition now to have gone out and played later this week. He's eligible to play on Monday. I'm told he will not play for the Grizzlies Monday. He will start his ramp up. He will be back, they expect, next week. But because the league could not establish that it was his gun, that gun at any point was on a team plane or in a team facility.
This Easter, it's all about the eggs.
Or in an arena, which would have changed the kind of punishment, the kind of suspension this would have been, because they could not establish any of that. This essentially became an 8-game suspension, cost him $668,000.
Okay, so again, as there are further details, we will hear them there. And again, I'll bring in Michael Wilbon in a moment, but Stephen A., let's hear from you. That was your first time hearing, again, Michael, welcome. That's the first time you were hearing that portion of the interview, and we'll continue to hear more as we go. What are your thoughts, Stephen?
Well, a couple of emotions kick in. Number one, when I'm glad Woj clarified it for all of us that it's basically 6 games already served, and he's got 2 additional games, because I think when you first heard the news, you were assuming that the 8 games starts now. And so the fact that it isn't the 8 games that's starting now, but it's basically the 6 games that he's already missed, along with 2 additional games. Some people are going to feel whatever way they want to feel, but we needed to know that. That's number one. Number two, I appreciate, great job by Jalen. First of all, getting the interview, and secondly, asking the questions that you asked about a plethora of things, because I think it's important for Ja Morant and everybody around him to understand this. The commissioner of the NBA, that final step that you took today, was a very, very important step, because when you go into the commissioner's office, it's a reminder that you have people to answer to. You represent not just yourself, not just your family, not just the Memphis Grizzlies organization, but the NBA. And by the commissioner calling you in and ultimately suspending you thereafter, and also taking the time to hear what level of contrition you were willing to disseminate to everybody, the reality is that all of those folks that are around you need to remember that with all of this money, this fame, this stardom, there comes a level of responsibility that Ja Morant himself has to live up to. And so because of that, think about him. Think about the fact that he's 23 years of age. Think about the fact that he's going through all the things that Jalen highlighted, with the interview and with his conversation just now. Think about the load that's on this young man's shoulder. Remember that he's 23 years of age. And if you are his parents, if you are a brother, a sister, a sibling, a cousin, or one of his boys, etc., all of you love him and want the best for him. Well, what's best for him to everybody is clearly to remain affiliated with the NBA and to continue to shine. Well, in order to do that, there's an obligation that comes along with it. It's not just about y'all. It's about him, and it's about the league, and it's about the organization. Remember that, and Ja Morant will be just fine.
And Michael Wilbon with us from Phoenix, just wrapped up, pardon the interruption, and again, hearing that for the first time, as all of us were. Michael, what were your initial reactions?
Well, first of all, kudos to Jalen for getting him to sit and talk like this. I'm not in a permissive mood. I understand we get paid to talk about and react to every one of these steps along the way. That's our job, and we're going to do that. But I don't care about what he says right now. When I say I don't care, I want to hear it. But that's not what it's going to be judged on. What's he going to do about his posse and the people that he may have to? Jalen talked about this 2 weeks ago. What's he going to do about the people that you have to divorce yourself from and say, out? You're out the door now. What's he going to do to express he understands that obligation. Do, not talk. What's he gonna? How's he gonna change his behavior? What is that gonna be like? Who's he gonna listen to? When you are 23 years old, you need to have somebody else to listen to, and that is also incumbent upon the Memphis Grizzlies. I understand that Adam Silver's not a hanging judge like his predecessor might have been. And that's fine because the league has worked just fine under Adam Silver as well. But I want to see what the behavior is, man. What's the behavior going forward? I don't want to hear contrition. Everybody expresses contrition. Who doesn't express contrition? Who's going to roll up into the commissioner's office and say, I ain't into being contrite? Everybody's going to express contrition. I'm sorry, remorse. I got that. Come on, you ain't the only one been 23. Believe it or not, all the people on this set have been 23 and done some things we'd like to have back. And we express contrition. What now? What are you going to...
So contrition. Contrition, the state of feeling remorseful and penitent. So pretty much being like remorseful. I feel like it's easy to judge, man. You know, looking at a young man, you know, in this day and age, it's easy to judge. A lot of these guys, man, they're judged. You know, they're judged harshly, but what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he got the message and allow him to either make the same mistake and then kill himself, shoot himself in the foot, or, you know, watch him, you know, continue to thrive. I feel like there'd be a lot of hate going on, you know. People be low-key wanting your downfall. So, you know, I know I'm not no big channel right now, but, you know, if you ever see my channel or my videos, like, just keep doing your thing. Don't worry about all this noise, man. All this is just noise. A lot of times people hate on you when you're great. Just keep being great, man. Made a mistake. I feel like this guy kind of hating a little bit, but I don't know his feelings. I don't know how he, you know, I don't know him for real. So that's just my take on it. I'm gonna let him finish up. I'm gonna wrap it up, man. We're gonna go ahead and end this episode of Ja Morant's, you know, situation.
Dude, you just lost $700,000 in pay, in salary. What about the money from the soft drink that was supposed to launch? What about the money from Nike that was supposed to launch with those shoes? What about the kids who look up to you? You're like a Pied Piper. There's real intellect and charisma in Ja Morant. Do you feel that responsibility? I don't want to hear it. I want to see it. And I'm sorry if I'm the old man saying, get off my lawn. I'm older than everybody on that set. But I've been around a long time and I've heard a lot of promises. When I was young, I probably made some promises. I got to see some action. I want to see it now. I want to believe in Ja Morant. Talking about basketball. We already believe in his basketball. What are we going to see moving forward from him now? That is on him. Not for us to show love, pat on the back, support, none of that. This is up to him and the support systems, I hope, that are in place for him.
It's extremely well said. We all obviously have a lot to say, and we will. NBA Countdown coming your way.
We're gonna end it there, man. I mean, he said something that's true. I feel like there's a lot of good that's been said, just gotta do better, man. We all make mistakes, but just gotta keep going, man. You got $200 million in the bank, you gotta pay a little $600,000, man. Hopefully that sting a lot and you understand that what you did was wrong. All right, man, we out of here, man. Peace. See y'all later.